Hello everybody, welcome to another day of Cosmoteer. And today we are looking at patch update 0.27.0. This new update is update for clouds and storms. So they have gaseous cloud, electron clouds, and ion storms, as well as a whole bunch of new ships. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the new ships that we have here. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So some of the new ships that they have here, and let's go ahead and go to add ships, built-in ships. The first ones we have is Monolith. So in Monolith, they have a combat ships. First new ship is Macerator. It's a pretty neat name. And then the next ship that they have here, we'll just do Macerator twice. Take a look at it. 230, 36 crew. 2 chain guns on the side, beautifully painted. I love the fact, and look at all the different thrusters on it as well. Tons of movement. You have side movement, you have backward movement. I like the paint scheme on it. To run into this ship in early game, and look at that, these chain guns really do a good amount of damage. If you were to run into this ship in early game, look how this one just annihilated both the chain guns on this side. That is a pretty neat ship to run into in the beginning, and I like the amount of movement it has on it. Doesn't cost that much, and it also has a bigger bunker in it as well. So for those that are actually looking at for the previous update, the bigger bunker is actually pretty neat. And I'm going to guess my audio, and I can see right now my desktop audio is not pulling through, so let me double check this. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. Apologize for that. I think that's fixed it. Okay, let's go ahead and pull into the next one. The next one we have here is Throne. Throne. That's an interesting ship. Throne and a throne. 456,000, 76 crew. Oh, it's got 3 chain guns and then 4 of these larger cannons. It doesn't have as much thrusts. Backwards thrust, sideways thrust seems to be decent. It's much more of a tanky ship. And then it gets cut in half, which is kind of nice. And then because it has cockpits on both sides, you're now facing 2 ships. That's actually a pretty neat design. We were talking about this before in our previous community challenge, and so having a ship that can separate into 2 separate ships just like this actually makes it far more deadly. So if you're fighting this ship and the AI decides to start shooting at it and you're not targeting actual components, it can cut it in half, just like how you saw this one cut in half. And then you have 2 different ships and you're fighting 2 different ships. So that's kind of a neat. This is actually a pretty neat ship. Better than the blacksmith is the one that I'm thinking about. This is kind of similar-ish, but not really the same. I like it. 2 completely separate different ships. This cannon doesn't seem to be firing as often. Both cannons seem to have problems because there's no way for it to get ammo from this other side. I would probably route something over here to make it so that you can actually get cannon ammo to here, because this is just sectioned off. And the chain guns are nice, but with these cannons are not firing, I think utilization on the throne would actually be better, making it so that this ammo storage is also a part of this cannon. Because right now you see these cannons are not firing anymore, and it's just the chain guns, and you're actually decreasing its DPS because at this point of the game, chain guns are already not, there's tons of ammo still for the chain guns, but the cannons are not firing. That's just my 2 cents, but that's what I would suggest fixing on that ship. Alright, 1 new Monolith station. They also changed a whole bunch of the stations as well, so that they actually have those little booster thing. I can't remember exactly the little resource gatherer things. Anyways, a new Monolith station is a medium Monolith station, Trade Station 2. Med Monolith Trade Station 2. Let's pull 2 of them so that you can see it. Ooh, flat cannon design. That's kind of neat. I love the paint schematics on this. So this is going to be in-game, and so what they added was they added these little things right here. No, that's a hyperdrive. Did they add a... Where is it? They should have added the resource gatherer things. Maybe they didn't add it on this station. There's a few things in optimization, but they did add the larger bunkers you see right here. Here they are. So they added these manipulator beam emitters, and they can do 16 instead of just the normal small little 4 before. So way better. And then as long as they're powered and have dedication for them, then you can easily transfer and gather resources much quicker, or buy resources from the actual station. So that's kind of neat. Alright. Let's go on to Cabal. Okay, Cabal has a new space station as well. Cabal has a small Cabal trade station, number 2. It's kind of interesting. Oh, I like this circle. Wow, it kind of reminds me of a sun. That actually kind of looks neat. That is actually really neat. That is a cool paint job. Intertwined between each other. I'm mesmerized by this paint job. That's really nice. That's beautiful. I like it. Alright, the next one we have here is 3 new Imperium ships. Alright. Imperium has a 6. I don't know. Definitely another language. 652 and how many crew? Alright. 64 crew. I like the speed on that. That has really good speed. That's got a lot of speed on it. It almost feels like a ramming chain gun. I like this disruptor. So he's got 4 disruptors and he's got 2 chain guns in the back. That is a nasty ship to face in the beginning of the game. Beginning middle, 600,000, not really the beginning of the game. And then you have all these shields protecting the actual... How come I don't see the shields? Okay, so this one has the layer stacking shields, but I don't see it in this one. Maybe because I have it selected? See what I'm saying? See, there's no shields there, and this one has the shields. So this one shows the layer stacking, and this one doesn't, for whatever reason. Maybe it's a game glitch bug or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of neat. I like that ship. That's a neat ship. Let's go into the next one. We got a Kanishka. This is the bigger version with nukes on the outside. I'm not seeing any disruptors in the middle. But I think the nukes alone, look at that, it just ripped this whole section apart. And then they adopted the point defenses in the back, facing the back. This is also... Hello, Hilsa, welcome. That is also a very deadly ship. That is not a ship I would want to face in game. I mean, it does have its weak points, right? You can get it from the back or from the side right here. Get rid of this command, so if you can sweep it. But it's got a lot of thrust. So you see right here, trying to flank this ship would actually be very difficult. Let me showcase that a little bit. So if I were to come over here and I would have grabbed 2 flankers, I think I'll still be able to flank it because these are purposely built to flank. But the point is, this ship has a good amount of thrust. Maybe it's not as much thrust as I was thinking. But it does, it moves fast. And then if you get a ship from behind, you take out one of these control rooms, or from the back. And you see right here, it doesn't have the movement right here. So if you get them stuck like this, and then I'm hitting it from behind. So I guess it has some strong weak points. you know, it has some zone strong weak points. Alright, let's move into the next Imperium ship. The next Imperium ship that we have here is... I can't pronounce that. TYT... Titanoide? I'm messing that name up. That's kind of a neat. What am I looking at? First impression, I thought it was like a blacksmith, but it's totally different because it's got shields, chain guns, more chain guns. That's a deadly ship. That's a good amount of... I mean, even if you were to blow up this right here, just like you were talking about before, the cockpit, I'm pretty sure if you blow this section up right here and this separates this, all this right here, that this cockpit and this cockpit will still allow both of these the ship to fly into two different directions, so it becomes two pieces. That is a deadly ship. So it's adopting that sense of, even if you were to blow up this and the whole rest of the ship, or you blow up this and it separates the two, then it becomes two ships that you can fight with. That's the idea anyways. Whether that works or not, I don't know, because I think this will blow up and only take out this much, but I don't think it separates the whole thing. So, something to think about. I could test it out some more in a later time. Alright, so the next one we have is 7 new Fringe combat ships. Fringe always has some pretty interesting ships, they definitely do. Fringe has a Black and Bruised. Blacksmith, there's the blacksmith I was talking about before. Here's the Black and Bruised. That is a cheap ship. Only 200,000 with 48 crew. It's a mini blacksmith. Black and Bruised. I like the name. And it only has a small reactor, and then they're powering these little capacitors, and the capacitors are powering the engines as well as everything else. Oh! That is a deadly ship to face in the beginning of the game. So 2 large cannons and then 4 small cannons. And because it's placed just behind this armor right here with the shields, layer stacking of shields, and that is a very nice ship. I actually really like it, so I'm gonna work on that one too because I like it. Put it in there. Okay. Black and Bruised, that's kind of a nice one. Okay, we'll go back over here. Another Fringe ship. Take out the next one that we have. The next ship we have is a Glisterling. Oh, another small little ship. 76,000, 8 crew. This almost feels like a starter ship that you could have. Oh, that's kind of pretty. I like these frames. We're putting frames, and then he's got these little tiny lasers and then a disruptor. It's a pure combat ship, you can see there's no storage. It does have a hyperdrive. Oh, it's a cute little ship. I like it. I've seen multiple different versions of things like that, but that's kind of a neat ship. I like it. I feel like they just renamed it and then redesigned it in full. Alright, Liability. Another early game ship. Oh. Okay, so I see it flies sideways because it's got a bigger thruster here, but in combat it then switches and it basically fires like sideways like this. But you see how they targeted the reactor first, so the AI probably needed a little bit more armor or something there. So even though there's a shield here and everything to protect the front, once you take out the reactor, then there's no more power, then all of a sudden it doesn't have fire anymore. So the concept's cool, but the AI is going to target the reactor first, and then the whole rest of the ship becomes nothing. So I think that one needs a little bit more battle testing and a little bit more improvement. My own personal opinion. Okay. Zero, why does Cosmoteer update so much? Now I have to update it to... Yeah, because I think it's still in early access. Zero. ZER 0. So it's the developer is still adding and improving more things. So this update they add a whole bunch more ships, and then they're adding a whole bunch more features, clouds and storms, and a whole bunch of other things as well. I'm just showcasing the ships because I like all the different new ships that are coming out. Let's go to Nettlesome. I'm sure the game is going to change even more as time goes on. There's a lot of things that I personally would like him to add, the developer to add, but it's up to them to add and or remove whatever they want and balance check it. That's a cute tiny little fighter. I think it would be even cheaper you remove the hyperdrive on it, because it probably flies at a decent speed. Huh. That's a cute little fighter. A Nettlesome. How much is this? 60? With 6 crew? That's actually probably not bad to have a whole bunch of... I'm thinking of StarCraft with the cruisers. You have a whole bunch of these little Nettlesomes flying around, and they can somehow just detach and go. That would be kind of neat. Opponent. I know somebody in our community did design something like that. Opponent of Commerce. Commerce? Alright, we got chain guns, we got flat cannons, we got missiles, we got disruptors. It's kind of designed and painted differently. That is actually, it looks like a flying space station, combat space station, a miniature one. But it's just got a little bit of a lot of different things on it. I don't like how the AI is rotating in a way so the chain guns can't fire. I mean, the flat cannons can't fire all the time from that side, but this is well protected here, well protected there. That is an interesting ship with the missiles and everything. If you're looking to fly a ship with a little bit of each one, it's got enough on it to really, you could even change it to something that you want. But I like that it has a lot of different things on it, and it's protected here too. So you can't even get the reactor. The reactor's right next to the command room. It makes more sense to me, because if you lose a reactor, probably already losing the command deck as well. I like that one. That was kind of neat. Alright, we got OSS Sopian? Sopian. I can't even pronounce that either. It's a droid. Okay, so we got nukes, we got mines, we got missiles, and it flies like an orbiter. Like a ramming like orbiter. And it's... Huh. This is another one of those annoying ships to run into in the beginning of the game. If you don't have enough movement speed, it will fly or orbit around you and then really do some damage. That's kind of neat. Neat and funky at the same time. Every single type of missile on it. Missiles, EMP, mines, and nukes. Yeah. That's interesting ship. Alright, what do we have next? We have a Pugu. Pugu? Fringe has a lot of little small ships added, so that's kind of interesting. A Pugu. Okay, point defenses, and why I guess, a booster thrust to make it go even faster. To catch up. Point defenses and a cannon. Huh. That's actually kind of neat. It's like a little miniature fighter that can fly around and annoy. That's kind of neat. Interesting thought process. Alright. I think those are all the ships. They updated many existing trade stations with the manipulator beams, tweaked the Module L starter ship to be a bit better defensively, as well as they increased the amount of funds career by 150 account for their Model L's changes. So career mode, you can have 150 more credits. They added storms. You can add storms in creative mode, it says. Where are the storms? Clouds and storms are here. So they added, there's a clear, there's a gaseous storm, it's a green storm, and then there's a ion storm. And so what happens is in each one of those different storms, when you fly into them, you can do, it does completely different things to your ships. So if I were to add in or put in like this is doing something to the reactor. I better go read the actual what it does. For ships operating within them, electron clouds will change how they must be designed and command in ways both harmful and beneficial. They are full of electrical charge particles that will short circuit your ship's reactors, reducing the power output by 80%. They will also boost energy weapon damage by 75%, as well as ship speed. When designing ships to fight inside electron clouds, you need to think about possible building extra capacitor storage and whether it's better to rely on low power projectile weapons or risk taking advantage of the damage boost that power hungry energy weapons receive. Okay. And then this one is kind of like going into like a sun diver, I'm assuming. Well, I should read what it does. Okay, so it gets that. So you see how this ship's getting all torn apart. This one is ion storms contain massive amounts of pent-up ion energy, striking any ships that dare to enter with powerful bolts of ion lightning. Unlike gaseous clouds and electron clouds, you rarely want to venture inside unless you have no other choice. It's usually much better to go around. While some ships may be able to survive, those that do are likely to take extreme damage unless they are specifically designed to withstand the ion lightning, which itself is difficult to and expensive proposition. You see right here, it's damaging that ship. And then the last one is this cloud right here. Well, I don't know what this cloud does. What does this cloud do? I better go read it. This cloud is the gaseous clouds are a thick fog that will open up new kinds of tactics for ships that choose to take advantage of them. Flying into a gaseous cloud will hide the ship from enemies outside, but also reduce the sight and radar range while inside. Using gaseous clouds, you can lay traps for enemies or sneak up undetected to ambush them. But of course, there is a risk that you will do the same to you. So, really cool, neat update. And these clouds will be out through the career mode and different things. I think, kind of like how Hosip said, let's design ships, and Hosip hasn't announced this yet. He was saying we should make another challenge number 10, to be build a ship that can withstand or be played with in each of these 3 different clouds, and then fight each other with it while you're in the cloud. This would be kind of interesting to fight another ship while also being zapped from all different directions from this red cloud. So that's kind of a neat thing. Alright, let's switch gears here. Let's go ahead and look at some of our community ships. We are going to go to July. We are in new folder. This is July, so we're 7/24/2024. All right, we come over here and go look for them now. Bear with me a moment as I go look for these ships. There's been a lot of community activity. A lot of people have joined and added a whole bunch more new ships. Let me scroll up. I think we've seen those ones, seen this one. I don't remember if we've seen this one. So I'm going to just start with this one. If we've seen it before, I'm sorry. We're just going to go through it again because I don't remember where I stopped. But this is a Butter ship. So Butter made this one. Oh, the clouds actually stay there. It's kind of neat. Let's clear all the objects first. Start that again. Alright, this is a light cannon flanker. Huh. I don't like how they're firing at these first. And then I like how this is protected right here. But yeah, the main target is this because this reactor is so close to the front. And you see right here. But still, this is a pretty neat light cannon flanker. But this is pretty neat. 539,000. That's interesting. I think this one needs a little bit more touch-up, but I think we'll touch on that one some more another time. Alright, Namcreo. Looks like they made a Death Star. But it's called Blaster Disaster 10003. Okay, it looks like they fixed this one. Maybe. At least it's side size. Okay, he fixed that so that when you blow up one reactor, this reactor doesn't chain react the other one. So you see added armor. So they took that advice so that when you blow up one reactor, it doesn't chain react and blow up all the reactors. It then becomes a much more viable ship, as you can see. But you can see the tip of the armor, and then once this is fully exposed, that's not good. You should probably fix this somewhat. And or build out more of the heavy frontal some way. You have all this open space. I would suggest finding a way, because you see how everybody's walking up like this, finding a way to put in walkways. Because you see how people are literally walking, and then segregate out the people so that they're not running across the ship. See how they're running all the way across the ship just to do different things? So the next step to fix this up, Namcreo, is to add in walkways and then add in dedications for crew members to stay on different sides of the ship would help. And then the walkways would help a ton so that people can walk in and out so that the lasers and everything can constantly fire and still produce. I think there's probably enough crew and everything in there, and the way that people are walking around is designed that way, but you could probably reduce the crew costs by significantly by adding dedications and adding walkways. I see the lasers are constantly firing on this one, so it is pretty nice. I don't like how it's sideswipe well, who am I to say? I still think it's a pretty interesting design. It's kind of neat. But there's definitely some things you can work on that one a little bit more. Thank you for sharing, Namcreo. Alright, Dwayne Wayne's got one in here, and this one's a Doom Ward. A Dom Ward. Dom Ward? 175, 325. Oh, okay. It's got mining lasers. I was like, where's the damage on this thing? Okay, so it's got disruptors and mining lasers on it. Ah. That is kind of neat. I don't see it doing any real damage. I think of it more of as a mining ship, but it's kind of still... I feel like, this is my own personal opinion, if you could pull the disruptors in closer so that it can have, because it doesn't have any backwards thrusts. So you see when it got really close, the disruptors are hitting the outside, and then once it finally reaches it just as it wants to, because there's no backward thrust, it does want to hit in the middle to take out the shields. So if the disruptors were placed a little bit differently, then even up close they could fire down the middle like how it's doing now, because you see there's no backward thrust on it. Again, just my own personal opinion. Still, kind of neat. That's what I would suggest on that one. Alright, CT7567. Okay, so this is somebody new that joined our Discord, and they're CT_7567__. Okay, so this new person that submitted a ship here for us to look at. Oh, I like this disruptive laser. Let's just relate disruptor laser. And then a whole lot of EMP. Is that 6 EMP? Interesting. How much is this ship? Okay, 551. Let's give this a test. Let's give it a good test. I think it will. I think it should. This is a whole nother different price range. This is 551, and there's only 356,050. But based on what I'm seeing with the EMP, it should strip off the shields and then strip off the actual damage. But it's not hitting through the armor right here as quickly as I want it. It looks cool. Ryan Lee, thank you for commenting. Yeah, it looks cool. It's doing fairly well. So you see how he has the armor placement and he has a big shield, so you adopted this concept, this sense of it. I would have assumed these EMP, the 6 EMP that he has right there, would have did more to take it out. It definitely crippled the ship by taking out actual power to here and cripple the front. But my ship did more damage than I was anticipating to this one. Still, this one held up pretty good. I don't like how this command deck's right here, because you see once this gets stripped out, this command deck will get destroyed and then the whole ship comes apart. As you see, that's where the main target, because you have it right next to the actual larger shield. So whenever you watch this CT_7567__, those are probably some improvements or changes I would suggest. Is this right here is a little too close to the large shield generators, because once you destroy one large shield generator, if they fight through here, they destroy this and it takes out the whole ship. Compared to, you see right here, this is where you lose this, you lose that, and it's still well protected. But I don't know, something to look at, think about as you're designing it out a little bit more. Give me a moment. Alright, let's come into the next one. Next one we have here, we'll go back to July 24th. We have a Namkiro made this one, and this is a RAM tester. 2.4 million, 286 crew. Whoa. Interesting with the spiky armor in the front. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 deck cannons, a whole bunch of point defenses. I like the shield layer stacking of the shield protection for the point defenses. He's got mining lasers, and he's got missiles that are not being provided enough missiles. You see how they're always empty? That actually would be kind of neat if you optimize these missiles a little bit better now, Carol. So you see how these missiles are constantly requiring ammo? You could change this up so that these missile barrages are fired now. You have plenty of storage, and you have these missile storage here as well, but these right here are not. But you don't have enough crew members that are dedicated to provide missiles to have the missiles constantly fire. So these missiles are not firing as often as they should, which could cause their damage to be much, much better. Everything money? Kind of neat. I still like it. Thank you for sharing that, girl. I would say optimize the missiles, I like the point defenses of the shields. He's got nukes over here too. Those, I don't like how this nuke storage is so hard for it to come all the way down here, this path up there. I would fix the nuke storage to be closer to the nukes, so the nukes could fire a little bit quicker and faster. And then fix this missile barrages, and then it could be really, really more powerful ship. So, kind of neat. Alright. Let's come over here and check out the mouse class. This one's built by Alnara. Cool. I like the shape. I like the shape. And then I like all the thrusters on it. I don't like how you don't have enough power for the heavy lasers to constantly fire. But the shape is kind of cool. If you're going to have a small reactor with this much engines and this much energy on it, you probably need capacitors or something to increase its burst damage on it in some form or fashion. As you can see right here, the dedication to disruptors are far more priority compared to the heavy lasers, which is nice for it to take something out, but I don't think it constantly fires. So if we were to restart the battle, add in one more mouse class, we'll check the one that's not getting attacked. Whichever one that would be. So this one right here. Does the energy weapons eventually run out of energy to fire? So we're looking at energy optimization here. It's firing, it's firing. So when it's not being fired upon, the heavy lasers still can fire, but it can't be tanked. I guess it does. Right here, it ran out of energy. Interesting. Thank you for sharing, Alnara. Alright, let's go over here. We got a host up ship. Solve crew issues. This is a small reactor to the max. While this is running, let me go reply to this real quick. It's an interesting design. You see how they fought right to the middle? Is there a shield in the middle? Look at this. Okay, he does have a shield in the middle. Then he has his layer stacking of armor. I think this tiny bit of armor right here, you don't really need, and this tiny bit of armor you don't need, but I don't know, if you rip this off the AI, might show you something different. And I don't like how, see, this reduced speed to walk all the way up here to actually get power to the shields. But other than that, it's still a pretty cool design. Yeah, you see how all this armor right here seems useless? It's just firing everything else. Still, kind of neat. I like the design. Small reactor to the max. Okay, that makes sense, the name. Alright, the next ship we have here is Alnara. Let's pull this one in. This is a Carcal class. I don't know, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, sorry. Okay, that's kind of neat. Ion beams down the middle. Heavy laser, disruptor, small laser, and then the shield layer stacking of shields here. That's interesting. I like the placement of all this because even then they destroy all this and then mean, if they get behind and they destroy the 2 cockpits, and then it's over. But it's still designed, kind of it reminds me of the in-game ship, but then add a little bit of protection in the back. It's kind of neat. Actually like it. It's kind of neat, and I like it. Let's go into the next one. We got a one built by Butter. This is a pretty neat paint job built by Butter. This is a shard. Oh, interesting layer stacking of cannons there. And then you got nukes, and because of the way it's designed, you see how it flies at a flipper angle, and then you got the nukes coming in from the sides. That's an interesting ship. See them fly in a group and actually fight them in a group, that'd be kind of neat. That would definitely be kind of neat. Alright, Alnara has a whole bunch of ships that they have posted here. It's USS Luna. USS Luna. Either going after a ship or a submarine. I like the shape. I like this little right here to help protect all the missiles. Then they got point defenses in there as well. A ton of ion beams. And you can see this beam right here is super strong because they're pushing it all the way through. So they blow up this and then they lose all those. Huh. Kind of a neat ship there. Thank you for sharing. That is an interesting design. That is a very interesting design. And there's sections, so they can still keep firing even though he lost that section and then lose the sections as well. So it's interesting. Expensive, but interesting. It's a 5 million ship. All right, they have a USS Reliant. This is a cargo ship, it looks like. Oh, there's numbers painted on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, for different sections. And there's numbers on the actual cargo base too. And there's mining lasers in the back. And on the sides. And on the front. Very interesting. Yeah, you could definitely fly into an astro field and be able to mine away. Take out a whole bunch of different things. That's kind of neat. And it has missiles in the back. You probably should have a sulfur and iron storage closer to these missile barrages, because then they don't have to walk all the way up here to get the sulfur and missiles, and all the way back here to provide sulfur and iron to here. So I would move these back here. Back here. That's what I personally opinion to do. And or I see they have missile storage over here for whatever reason. Still, that's something you could probably work on there. Make it a little bit better. Alright, next ship we have here is a USS Enterprise. Okay, they're talking Star Trek now. Well, I guess Star Trek was also based off of actual USS boats. Combat boats. It's not shaped like the USS Enterprise for Star Trek, nor is it shaped the same way for... But it's a huge... all the radius taking up the entire square. We got missiles, 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 missiles. Nukes, point defenses, ion beams, and deck cannons. With a good amount of movement in the middle. You see all this movement? And I like that they can have constant, and they have a whole bunch of hyperdrives. Look at this. So this thing can probably jump from place to place. The game is actually having a hard time rendering all of that. I know when my mouse is freaking out here. Let me fix my mouse. That is still pretty cool. That's a neat design. Alright, let's clear all the objects so that my game stops freaking out there for a bit. Alright, let's pull in the next one. I really like that USS Enterprise Force if you're looking to do everything, but that's a 9.2 million ship. Okay, USS... I can't pronounce that word. Ticonderoga? No. Okay, it's a railgun. Why do we have doors on some of these engine rooms? These ones I don't see a reason why, or I don't see a reason why for these ones. I see a reason for this door to get to back access here. But some of these doors right here, door, you don't need for this engine room. Same thing for that. And then the railgun's having power issues. So if you're gonna fix anything on this particular ship, I would fix this railgun power issues that you have. You want the railgun to be firing as constantly as possible, and if there's any interruptions, like a few, then it's not gonna fire. You're gonna lose a whole bunch of damage. Yeah, like right there, see? It's not powered anymore. Something to think about. Alright, let's go into the next ship that they have here. This one is called the Defiant class. I don't know why I'm thinking of the movie Divergent Divide. Okay. Point defenses, ion beams. There's a lot of point defenses. So definitely help with fighting against ships that have lots and lots of missiles. There are crew dedication problems. Some people walking away from their station for whatever reason. Interesting concept to have a small reactor right below the actual ions. And right here we have crew dedication problems again. And literally they grab the fire extinguisher to walk all the way, but fly out of the ship to fly somewhere else to put the fire out over here. So, see, if any room catches on fire, and I know you have the doors there for possible trying to do it, but you see how somebody walked away just to do that? You don't ever want that to happen. Right here, these crew dedications, the guys are walking around to do who knows what. Put out fires, but you don't want that to happen. You're losing a lot of damage when that happens, so. Something to think about when you're looking at dedications for ion beams or whatever it is. Alright, let's pull in another ship. The next ship we have here is called an Eagle. I like all the bird names. Alright, we got chain guns in the middle, we got deck cannons, we got EMP missiles in the back. Point defense is layer stacked. It looks cool, but point defenses, once you have them layer stacked like this, and you see this armor right here, you actually see how they shoot and then they hit the armor. It's not as effective. Not effective at all. It looks cool, but doesn't make it effective. And then I don't like how the actual main bridge is right there, because once you hit through all of this, you blow up the bridge, And the ship stops moving. The bridge should be like back here. Yeah, see, the bridge went out, and then you still have all the deck cannons. The deck cannons are firing because the AI is shooting like that. But in the game, once you lose your bridge, the ship stops moving. It fully stops functioning. That would be my own personal opinion to change that. Alright, the next one we have is Osprey. Oh, I like the actual design of this. Kind of neat. At least looking at it for the outside. You got shields, you got deck cannons, you got chain guns. We got missiles in the back. The shape is cool. I like the shape. And I like it actually. It's kind of neat. So it's blowing up each one of the wings first, so it blows up each one of these deck cannons. And then now it's firing. It's a pretty decent tank. As well as doing damage. It's kind of neat. I like it. Thank you for sharing, Elnara. Alright, let's go on to the next one. Oh, she has one more. So Elnara has another one of this one. Cougar class. Cougar class. Oh, that's interesting. It's kind of interesting. They took the ion beam from the middle. I like the double beams. See the double beams, and then you can hit more surface area. And then you have this in the back. That's a neat ship. That's pretty cool. I like it. Then you got the point defenses in the back over here, and these engine rooms, so that helps to push it a little bit further. That's a neat ship. Cook class. Cool name. Alright, Namkiro has this small little tiny ship. This is a Carb B. Carb 0.2. What? Huh. I can see a whole bunch of these little things flying around doing annoying damage. And then they painted these little tiny circle things on it. It's interesting. It's a starter ship. No, it's okay. It's a 2-beam starter ship. Okay, so it's small enough and cheap enough to be a starter ship. So if you wanted a ship that actually started off to be this way, you could start off with a ship like this. It's kind of neat. This is also another starter ship. So if you're looking to be an ion beam starter ship, this one has a shield on it. This is probably one more I would start with. Just because the shield. Because when you're starting off the game, having a shield to tank some of the damage is kind of important, so you're not sustaining so much damage in the beginning of the game, and then you can harvest stuff. Now the only downside here is it doesn't have any cargo space, but they can build it later, obviously. It's kind of neat. That's an interesting starter ship. I don't know, this would be something to actually play around with and see if you can start off with it. I like it. Thank you for sharing, Namkiro. That is pretty neat. Starter ships. Okay. Plaus made, I made a locking starter ship. I don't know how to do, but he has a little tiny video showing how to do it. So it's a starter locking ship. He has the top and the bottom. I didn't mean to do it like that. Anyways, the top has the top and the bottom has the bottom. And so the bottom locks into the top right here. And he has a little short video showing that it runs into this one and then it locks into this other ship and then it becomes a single ship. So he blows up these and then this piece comes up and locks into this. So it's a locking starter ship. You can use this as a career to fly a combined ship with someone else. So two people fly both these ships. They set up the very precise though. And then you move them forward and you fire thrust and then it locks in and then it becomes two ships. So one person flies this ship, the other ship, and locks it in, and then you have two starter ships that become one ship. I guess I should attempt this, huh? So you have a bottom and you have a top and clearly I don't know how to do it. Hold on. Are those numbered? 2, 3, 4. Nope. Shift control. There we go. Get the number 1, and then I need the self-destruct. I need to figure out what the self-destruct button is. So it flies in, right? And then number 1. Hey. Clearly I don't know what I'm doing. It needs to be precise, and then you get it in there, and then you blow up both. Yeah, I clearly did it wrong. Here, clear all objects. So these two lock into each other. You have a front one, you have a back one. I need these to be selected. This needs to be self-destruct. We're going to do a control 1, so they're hotkeyed. This ship will be control. I can't do that. Alright. So move this up here, like, not like that. I'm going to hold the X key down. I want collision. I want it to fly into collision. Difficult. Yeah, that ship can't even turn. So hold X key down. Collision it. I had it before, and then you blow up these, and then it becomes and it attaches to one ship. I'm probably not gonna keep trying that because that's outside what I want to spend the time to do, but that's still cool. Thank you for sharing, Klaus. All right, host up has. I'll try it later when I have more time. All right, Rail Fighter B1. Also shared this one. So this is the railgun with disruptor, and then heavy laser. Rail Fighter B1. We can actually get up close and fight. So it's a tanky railgun. Up close, so he has a large shield which helps protect this small section right here, a small shield which helps protect even further right there, and then a railgun. That's actually really neat. I mean, maybe add a little bit more protection here for the heavy shield, but maybe not. I don't know. I think it's working great the way it is. That's kind of neat. Thank you for sharing, Holds Up. Alright, we got a Namkiro, has a very scout 0.2. Scout 0.2. Huh. It's got a lot of thrust on it. I don't know why you need doors on here for this. Or there. I think you can remove those doors, Nemkuro. You don't actually need these doors. These doors are useless. Remember that one. And you'll see that it should still power it. Or not. Oh, you need doors for these? Wow. Guess you do need doors for these. Okay, so I lied. So you need doors for these engines now. Maybe it always needed people to manage them. Huh. Interesting. So, okay, so there's two people to actually manage these. So, that is interesting. I didn't know that. Alright, Butter made this one. Not a PvP ship. Oh. Kind of reminds me of like a whale or some kind of aquamarine type of animal. Maybe a dolphin. A very aggressive dolphin. I don't know. Some kind of fish. And it doesn't look like it likes each other like this. I think it's trying to be a rammer. But at least they fall off of each other. You also need doors to extinguish fire. This is 2 Ichitup. But normally when I see an engine catch on fire, the engine is already gone by that time, unless you have a fire extinguisher so close and somebody to get close enough to put it out. Most of the time when an engine catches on fire and you're getting shot at engine rooms, you don't have enough time to put the fire out for it. And you're saving more money by not having it if it's connected to the actual, the engine room compared to the actual engines, the thrusters. But yes, this is true, Richard Up. You need doors for them to put out fires if you actually can get the fire out fast enough. Alright, Alnera put in another one. This is a Panther class. I think it's Panther, yeah. Cougar class, Panther class. It's got a lot of larger shields in the middle. I like the 4 beams separate instead of the 1 single beam. Then you have more surface area to shoot at different things. But then the focus fire is a lot less. But you see how they have 4 beams. 4 beams can do, the AI can target a whole bunch of different things and do a whole bunch of different, who knows what they can do, but they can do a whole bunch of different things. Alright, let's close that up. Let's come over here. Let's take a look at Butter's ship. Butter has an endless circles. Circle, circle, circle. I want to take that paint job from that station, from that update, and put this in there like that. So you have your endless circles for that sun. If you can take that same paint job and put that on this, I think it would look cooler. I am liking what I'm seeing. If you wanted something different, this is definitely different. And then take that paint job and then put it over. I'm sorry, I just have to do it because it's just too cool. Alright, so there's a space station. I don't remember what the space station was, but I think it was not that one. Maybe it was Cabal. Yeah, this one right here. So, you take this paint job. You know, just do this. Let's do this. I know the dedications are not going to be. Copy that. Come over here. Select this. Come over here and select all. Delete. Paste. And then change this paint job a little bit more so the circles are over here. So you have circle, 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 circle. So this can push out to here. And then you have the circle looking thing. I don't know, that's just my thought process on it. And then it would be endless circles like the name actually is. Because it says endless circles. I don't know. That's just my thought process on it. Okay. On to the next one. July. Alright, we got another one. I don't even know, there's so many in here. This is a tiger class. So panther, tiger, cougar. Okay, this one's built by Onera. This one is... Oh, there's disruptors there. That is pretty cool. I am liking tiger class. So instead of just one beam, you have all these beams coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's got 8 beams coming out. And there's the spread of damage. You see how it does this wide berth? So that's pretty neat. I like that. Kind of like Tiger Class. I like more beams than just a single beam. And then it spreads and you see how it's shooting out different ones. So it's kind of neat. That is neat. I like it. Thank you for sharing. Okay, here comes the next one. This is a cheetah class. Onera does a lot of different birds or animals. It's kind of neat. What is that white paint on this? Okay, those are lights. There's lights on the heavy lasers to make them look different color. Huh. Having power issues at the front of the ship. And power issues at the other lasers as well. But that aside, I like that. I like the different mine lasers on the top to add a whole other layer of attacking for different ways. And then, if you could fix the power issues on the lasers, to do the lasers to actually keep firing, I think that would be better. So instead of a small reactor, we change this to something different, would be my own personal opinion. I don't like how these are walking up here like this to get to that power, because it's a waste of crew time to do that. Still, it's kind of neat. I like it. I think it's maybe a cargo ship to help supply other things. Alright, Butter made another one. This is Alius? This one's painted. Okay, this is probably the endless circles, but painted. And then a different name. So that's a pretty cool paint job. You can see it right here, Butter took a lot of time to paint this particular ship. And then I like this endless circles, or the new name Alius. Still kind of neat. I like the shield placement. The shield placed this way, shields placed this way, and then the armor this way, so that they're actually shooting at the shields instead of the armor. And then they have all these ion beams all over. In a front-to-front battle, this just looks cool. It looks really neat. And it's tanky-ish. Well, tanky versus itself. I like it. Alright, we got one last ship here. This one is built by Hosep. This is an improved version of his starter ship. A Model SCB-2. Ooh, I like all the thrusters on it. And then the layer stacking the armor there. So he's got storage as a starter ship, he's got lasers on the starter ship, he's got actual shield generator. That's an interesting starter ship. I like all the thrust on it. That is cool. They're not even beating each other. Oh, let's do one other test with the starter ship. This starter ship versus this starter ship. This one's cheaper, so Hosep's ship is a lot cheaper than my starter ship. Every single 1,000 does a huge difference. I think his starter ship is actually going to, unless they can get the shields back up. This one has a constant pace of fire. I think Hosep's starter ship wins. So that is a cool ship. This is a very cool ship, starter ship. His dedications and everything else are probably improved and a lot better. So I like it a lot. Alright, if you enjoyed this content, please feel free to hit the like button. It helps me out a ton. It helps to push out this content to other people, bring awareness to it. If you like, please feel free to leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, especially what you don't like so that I can improve and make better content. If you have not already, please feel free to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, that's okay as well. Come back once a week, once a month. Check out what content I have. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting me. And you all have a wonderful rest of your day.